So I've had quite a few requests to do a Big Brother Chris video on shot anxiety. And for me, this is an interesting topic because for the first year or so of my transition, I did my own shots. I do intramuscular injections and I did them in my thigh. And so weekly I would alternate which leg I was doing them in, and I had no issue whatsoever really doing my shot. I mean, every once in a while I'd get a little anxious before my shot, but I don't really have a phobia of needles. I was really hyped to do my shot every week. Wasn't really a big deal. And then I hit it was almost like right at my 1 year on T, and I just couldn't bring myself to do my shot anymore. And I mean, I know some of it was mental, like the changes aren't coming like as drastically as when you first start testosterone, and it just kind of started to feel like a monotonous part of my routine every week. I started to put things off. I would just get like really anxious. My shots went from like, usually takes me like a minute to do it, or it would be like a whole like 20-minute ordeal. And so luckily my friend Spencer actually taught Anna how to do my shot when Spencer came to visit on my 1 year on T last year. And Spencer's an EMT, and not that you need an EMT to teach you, but it made Anna, my girlfriend, feel really confident in learning how to do my shot. So I would recommend, if you ever get really nervous about doing your own shot, having somebody you trust, like your girlfriend, your partner, boyfriend, whatever, or a roommate or sibling, do your shot for you. For me, my sibling is not an option because Courtney can't even be in the same room as my needles because she has a terrible phobia. I have to go hold her hand anytime she gets blood drawn. But Anna does a really good job doing my shots, so she kind of just took off from where I was doing it and originally just did my shots in my thighs for me. And then I guess maybe a couple months ago she switched to doing my shot in my butt, just because a friend of mine does his shot in his butt, and he said it was a lot less painful. Not that I think that your thighs are very painful or anything, but it just seemed like a good idea to switch things up. I've heard that it's good to kind of rotate your shot sites that you use, just as the scar tissue will build up, and that's why you want to alternate week to week, just to make sure that you're not building up scar tissue in just one leg or one part of your body. So for me, when I hit this roadblock of not wanting to do my shots myself, I turned to my girlfriend, and so she does my shots every week. And it works out for us. She doesn't really have that much anxiety over doing my shots anymore. I mean, every once in a while I'll tense up and I'll freak her out or something, but we have a good system going. So I would recommend, if you get too anxious to do things yourself, there are a few things that you could do. If you want to get somebody else to do your shot for you, it's often possible to get your shot done by a nurse somewhere. You can see if any clinics nearby will let you come in and have a nurse do your shot for you. I do know some people in New York City that would like go into Callan Lord Clinic every time they needed their shot. And they had people on site that would do that. But if that's not something that's feasible for you, you can't afford to do that, there's nowhere around you that offers those sort of services, I would recommend having somebody in your life that you trust learn to do your shot. If you want to get somebody to do your shot for you, and you can get a friend or girlfriend or roommate or whoever to do it for you, I do recommend having someone show them how to do it, whether that be a nurse or somebody in your life that does their own shot, or if you feel confident showing them how to do it. It's easier to show them in your thigh, obviously, than like your butt. I just know that, like, for Anna personally, I think that she was more confident like learning from a friend of ours that knew how to give injections rather than us just like YouTubing it. Not that that's a bad way to learn. If you don't have the option of them learning directly from somebody, then I would recommend like watching some YouTube videos so they feel confident giving you that shot. It's not a big deal. People do these like sort of injections all the time for all sorts of reasons. So really, like, it's kind of hard to mess up. Not to say like don't be careful, but it is a pretty simple process. But I just know that, like, personally for like my girlfriend, she felt more prepared and a lot more confident because she practiced on my friend Spencer, and they gave her like really good instruction on how to do so, and she just it just helped her to have somebody who knew what they're doing show her. So I would recommend having someone show whoever's gonna do the shot for you, whether it be a nurse or whoever. I also, even if they learn from somebody else, I recommend, for me, surrounding my shot anxiety, when I was even doing my own shots, even when I didn't have that much anxiety about doing them, I found that kind of normalizing myself with seeing needles and seeing injections happening helped me. So I would like watch guys doing their shots on YouTube or on Instagram. There's specific people that I follow on Instagram who post their shot every single week, and so sometimes I would be like kind of tense about doing my own, and I would like watch one of theirs, and it would kind of feel like we were both doing it at the same time, and seeing someone else like stab their leg with a needle or whatever, wherever they do their shot, kind of just got me used to seeing it. And I mean, that's not the same as feeling it in your own body or whatever, but I mean, a lot of my aversion to needles is just like seeing it actually going into my skin. So I definitely recommend, like, if you're a little bit squeamish, maybe watching some tutorials about how to do it and watching other people's shot videos, and just kind of getting like a little bit familiar with seeing needles and seeing needles going into your skin, and everything else that entails. Some things that I would recommend: one, don't do your shot after you've gone to the gym. I have done my shot before after like doing leg day, and then that was like one of the only, like, I've maybe bled like 2 times when I've done my shot, and one of the times that I ever did was because I had just done leg day and I did my shot in my thigh, and then I bled a lot, and it was just because all my blood vessels were all bigger and swollen or whatever from working out. I would recommend doing your shot at a time of day that you are kind of relaxed. For me, I prefer to do it at night because I'm more relaxed, I'm ready for bed, I'm going to do whatever. But I do also know that sometimes, because I do my shot late at night, I'll put it off until the next day, and then I'll put it off until the next day. So I know some people prefer to do their shot in the morning, just to start their day. You haven't really done anything to stress yourself out yet. It's just kind of something you do and then move along with your day. So if that's better for you, just pick a time of day that works for you. Also, I recommend picking a day of the week that works for you. For the first year or so, I did my shots on Monday, but you know, Mondays have such a negative connotation. It kind of got to the point where I was dreading Mondays for being Mondays, and also because I also had to do my shot. So then I moved my shot day to Tuesdays, but then I at the time was playing football and I had practice on Tuesdays, so then I moved it to Wednesdays because Wednesdays were a neutral day and I didn't have practice, and I wasn't a Monday, and I still do my shots on Wednesday unless I forget or I postpone them. But now it's kind of a middle of the week thing. It's not, you know, I'm usually not out of town on a Wednesday, because for me, I didn't like the idea of maybe having my shots on Friday and I might be out of town and I have to take my needles and whatever. So for me, I pick a day of the week that works. So that might be a good idea too. I also, I'm a big fan of essential oils. And so I actually, like, when I was stressing a lot and doing my own shots, I got this like Calm and Focus oil off of Etsy. And it smells really good, but it kind of just, it's kind of supposed to just like relax you. Also recommend maybe listening to some music you like. I always do my shot in my room. I make sure the dogs and the cats aren't in here so they won't bump me around or stress me out or just like get in the way. Especially don't do your shot if you've been drinking. I think that me and Anna have probably done my shot once or twice when we've been slightly intoxicated, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. Also, maybe not when you've had a ton of caffeine, because your hands are going to be shaking. But there's also, you can do little things. It might sound silly, but you can do little things to reward yourself for doing your shot. I mean, some people really aren't fazed by their shot, and never in their transition will they have a problem, but some people it becomes this like daunting thing you just kind of dread. Like, obviously it's kind of a love-hate relationship. It's giving you changes you want, it's sustaining you, it's affirming, but also it can turn into kind of a chore. So I do have a friend, that same friend Spencer, who showed Anna how to do my shot. They reward themselves with a chocolate bar every time they do their shot, which, I mean, that's just a little thing. So okay, maybe you tell yourself, once I do this, then I can watch my favorite, I can watch an episode of my favorite reality TV show, or I can after doing my shot, I'll treat myself to I don't know, a glass of wine or whatever you like. Just something that you know you get to look forward to, and that can just be like on your shot day, on that night or whatever, you know that after your shot you get 30 minutes to yourself or an hour to yourself, regardless of what else you have to do that day or that week. You have something to look forward to, a little gift, a little time to yourself. So that is something that I definitely recommend. That won't completely alleviate being stressed about your shot and kind of worrying about it, but I try to tell people that that little pinch of pain usually lasts a second. Most of the time you're not gonna hit a bad spot in your leg or your butt or your stomach if you're doing sub-Q, but there might be a tiny twinge of pain and then it's gonna go away. I haven't had any soreness after my injections since like my first 3 shots, and I've done a shot a week for now 2 years, so I'm plus 100 shots at this point, and I've only the first 3 weeks that I experienced like soreness, and it just felt like I had like a crazy hard leg day or something. But for the most part, the pain goes by quickly, and then I get the reward of I've gotten shitty facial hair and a deeper voice and body fat redistribution and just all the other changes that have come with the testosterone. I would totally trade the having to give myself a shot once a week for the awesome changes that I've experienced. So try to focus on the positive things that come with these shots and tell yourself you can get through 10 seconds, you can get through a minute, you can get through 10 minutes of anything in your whole life. That's very small in the scheme of things. So just try to make it happen as quickly as possible, but also don't rush yourself through it. If you need to take a breath, and you know, some people like to jab themselves, like get it over with really quick. When I did my shot, I did mine nice and slow. I found that that was the easiest, gave me the least amount of pain. I would tell myself that I had to do my shot on 3. I'd say 1, 2, 3, and then I would very, very slowly push the needle into my leg. And for me, that works. And some people, they'd rather do it fast. But for me, telling myself I had to do it on 3 kept me from backing out or not doing it or whatever. So something like that may also help you. And you can get creative with it. You can get yourself really cute Band-Aids for after your shots. You get yourself a shot hype man to pump you up. What? But yeah, like get someone that'll pump you up. Or like maybe you have another trans friend who maybe doesn't live with you, but you can Skype with them while you do your shot. Or like me and my roommate have a few times done our shot on the same day. Or when Spencer visited me, we did our shot on the same day. Sometimes it's fun if you have, it's kind of like working out, someone to hold you accountable. So maybe you could do it on them and they can do it on you. That's also an option if you have a friend in town that's also trans. Or be on the phone with somebody to distract you while you do your shot. That's an option too. And if it's your shot day, I'm really proud of you. You can do it, I promise. And if you're not on testosterone yet, but you hope to be one day, I promise you'll get there. It took me over 3 years to start testosterone from the time that I realized I was trans. So don't worry about it. It will happen when it's meant to happen. So there's plenty of options. I hope this helped. And now y'all can watch as Anna gives me my shot this week, which is totally late because it's Friday and I'm supposed to do it on Wednesday. And I'll be posting this on Monday. But thanks for watching. I hope it helped. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I love y'all, so.